So I'm going to do a brief walkthrough of some of the data that we collect with the Fit3D body composition scanner. This is an amazing tool, not just as far as um, doing our measurements, but really as a health evaluator. And most of us, we don't really like stepping on the scanner because the first thing that hits us in the face is the picture, right? So I'm not showing the images today on the scanner. You don't want to see that for anybody probably, but we'll just walk through some of the metrics. And Andrea Folsom asked me, she goes, I look at the picture and it's always intimidating, but there's a lot of stuff there that I don't really know what it is and why it matters. And should those numbers be higher? Should they be lower? So we're just going to do a brief walkthrough of some of that this morning. The first thing you're going to see when you log into your dashboard is this particular tile here. And I'm going to take a look at the one in the upper left here. And there's two numbers, your body shape rating, and we'll talk about how that's calculated in a minute, but also your body fat percentage. So your body shape rating, you can remember the body shape rating. You want to see that number going up. It's on a scale of 1 to 100. And the body fat percentage, you want to generally, most of us want to see that decreasing. Um, you can get your body fat percentage too low. For most of us, that's not a problem. Very rarely is that a challenge. So we're going to talk about how these numbers are aggregated together. So the body shape rating, if you click these tiles, they're either active and they have a glossary. So don't be afraid to explore a little bit. So if I click on this one, you won't see the entire tile here, but basically the body shape rating takes all the metrics that we're going to look at. And Fit3D evaluated that data from over 26,000 scans, and they're collecting more data all the time. So these can get updated. But then they evaluated the correlation between each one of those algorithms and health risk outcomes. So really, I'm interested not only in the image and what I look like, but I'm also interested in, am I getting healthier? And this tool really helps me evaluate, am I getting healthier or not? Um, it's really a pretty cool thing to see, that those numbers moving as your nutrition cleans up and as you continue to work out. So your body composition, if we click on that tile, this just tells us the latest scan that we did, our height, our weight, our body fat percentage, our fat mass, and our lean mass. So lean mass is just all the non-fat mass. I guess that makes sense, right? But that's going to be your muscle mass. That's going to be your bones, your organs, and any water weight that you have. And your body is mostly water. So anything that's not fat is going to be lean mass. And you really want to see that number going up as the fat mass number goes down. Your body fat percentage, you can click on these tiles and you can get metrics over all the times that you've scanned. That's why it's important to scan frequently. And if you're scanning every 3 to 6 months, you really don't have enough data to make a decision. An outcome-based decision is what I'm doing nutritionally, working as far as getting me where I want to go. If I click on the body shape, here's where all those different metrics that we don't really know what they mean are. And basically, these are health markers that have been calculated, and you can just click on each one of these. The ABSI, a body shape index, is a simple way to evaluate total body shape as it's associated with early all-cause mortality. So this is real deal, right? This is not just a matter of, do I look pretty, but am I healthy? And these are all measuring markers of obesity as it relates to primarily your waist to hip ratio, your trunk volume, and they can take a look and say, look, we know that people that have a trunk volume as associated with their legs, for instance, we'll look at that one, have certain disease factors that people that have better ratios don't have. Same thing with your waist to hip ratio, same thing just with simply your waist. So you can click through these and see how they go. It'll tell you, do I want this to be higher or do I want this to be lower? Surface body shape index, the lower that one is, the less likely you are to suffer early all-cause mortality. Um, your trunk to leg volume ratio, so how big is my trunk, my midline, as opposed to my legs? And we know that if we have a smaller waistline and bigger legs, So the ratio is better that your all-cause mortality goes down. So basically, we get that waist size down in the kitchen, right? That's a nutritional intervention. And the leg size, the volume of your legs goes up as you gain muscle. And you'll see those things shift as you continue to train over time. And once again, that's why I encourage you, you got to get in and do a Fit3D on a regular basis so you can see how you're tracking in that regard. The one in the bottom right here is really the one that I like to pay the most attention to. And I'm going to bring up, there's some health organizations that I have on my other screen over here. And if you look on our website, it gives you this data as well. But hip to waist ratio and waist circumference, man, that is huge as far as the data that's been collected by multiple health organizations over decades. And they can tell us what your risk of disease is likely to be based on just those two simple numbers. So there's 4 organizations that I'm taking a look at over here: American Heart Association and National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute. They've correlated data based on waist circumference, and their definition of abdominal obesity is women over 35 inches and men over 40 inches. The International Diabetes Federation is a little stricter. Women, their definition of abdominal obesity is women over 31.5-inch waist and men over 35.5-inch waist. And then the World Health Organization has collected data on waist to hip ratio as it relates to disease. So I'm talking about heart disease, diabetes, and of course all-cause mortality. Women should be greater than 0.5 and men should be greater than 0.9. So you can see this particular person, although their body fat is low, relatively low, their body rating is good, body comp is 12.7%, weight to height, weight is 173.2. That's certainly not crazy heavy for a 5'11 guy. But then you get to waist data, and you really want to see this go up a little bit. So the waist size needs to come down just a little bit more to get that waist to hip ratio where we want it. So these are important metrics, and I'm not going to go clicking around too much because I don't want to bring images up, but you can compare data over time when you go into, if you go up into the compare button, and you can compare all these metrics over time side by side. So you can go back all the way to when you did your very first one to now, and it'll tell you in a little chart, are you minus, are you plus, any of those metrics. Also, when you go in, if you want to, you can put your heart rate in. So every time you scan, if you know what your heart rate is, if you want to keep track of your blood pressure, you can always go into your any metric that you really want to keep track of here. You can keep track of, and that's up to you. So I would encourage you, once again, as we go into, I'm recording this right before we're doing our Sizzling Summer Slim Down Clean and Lean 2017, right? And we're going to ask you to step on the Fit3D 3 separate times. So you're stepping on, once every 2 to 3 weeks. Keep that habit up. That's one of the good habits that we want to establish. It's a reality check. And I don't like doing it any more than you do, but I have to tell you, it really keeps me in line. It's one of the ways I keep myself accountable to my nutrition and to my into my training. Scan to scan, that's a real hard thing to say. Well, if I come in 3 months and scan, um, it's real hard for me to say that I'm going to pay too much attention to just one scan to the next. What I want to see is what's the trend. And if I scan every 2 to 4 weeks, I can see, is the trend up or is the trend down? And that's really what we're looking for. So if you got any other questions, of course, that's what I'm here for. Just shoot me a line. If you got any more questions about what those metrics mean and whether they should be going up or down, they do have a great glossary here, but I'm always willing and able and ready to answer your questions. So have a great day, and we'll catch you on the flip.